All chapters for Maxum are available on this YouTube channel. Thanks for listening. Chapter 11. Victory Laugh. Before Jason notices, I change my damp shirt into one from the Hollow store. I didn't need new shoes, so my feet are still soggy as we approach Manipulation Square. I keep my distance from the two couples in front of me, trying to distract my mind with the note from the drone. The words, "keep this between us," echo in my thoughts. Us could mean a lot of things. Us could mean HIO, or worse, the organization Victator that the president spoke of. Us could be a Maxim spy who noticed my very un-Maxim-like acts. The possibilities are endless. What I do know? Someone knows I don't belong here, and I have to tread carefully. Two guards stand next to the entrance of Manipulation Square, their backs to a barred gate. Based on their carbon black armor, these Maxims must be part of the Premier Jason mentioned. One of the Premier guards is in a conversation with the lady that is getting out of hand. Her hair is drawn messily over her shoulders, like the little girl I helped. She shakes her head in irritation and steps away, but turns right back around and fires a spit wad at the Premier guard's visor before taking off running. "Come back here!" The Premier guard wipes the spit off with his black-gloved hand as he chases the woman in the direction of the Hollow store. I keep quiet when a teenage boy sneaks his way onto the street during the distraction. The remaining Premier guard doesn't notice. "Sorry for the commotion. Identification, please?" I look down at my desk timidly and produce my manipulation code. Hopefully that Dr. Kuhn guy is good at fake IDs. The Premier guard checks it with a scanner. "Move along." I walk through the gates and slow down when I hear a voice whisper to the Premier guard, "I think I saw someone get through." I look behind me to find a Maxim about my age, buzzed hair, brown eyes, with a guileful smile on his face. He's pointing in the direction the teenage boy snuck through. I've never hated someone so quickly. The road of Manipulation Square is gold, complete solid gold. It reflects the modern skyscrapers that line the sides of the road. Unlike the crowded streets of the heart, there are only a few people walking around. Most of them are young Maxims, probably doing the same college preparation as we are. Well, not exactly the same thing we are. What's with all the security to get in here? I talk to Jason freely now that Owen isn't around. He ended up finding his aunt in the Hollow store and had an errand to run. Something about clipping the hooves of his Knorrs. Apparently it's a pet a lot of Maxims have. Manipulation is tightly regulated. You need a license, and even then you can only practice in specific places, Jason says in a quiet tone. This whole street is devoted to manipulation, so they keep it secure. Why not let everyone practice manipulation? Some fear if everyone were allowed to manipulate, society would become chaotic. Factions would form against the government, and the society would fail. But at the root of it all is just pride. Manipulation is a symbol of power, and the fewer Maxims that can manipulate, the more powerful it is. Jason kicks a loose stone with his shoe. President Stratus is trying to give everyone the opportunity to manipulate, but he's facing a lot of opposition. What do you think about it? Oh, I don't know. I'm just glad we can go to Summa so we can learn how to do it. I've wanted to since I was a kid. Most would kill to be in our spots. What happens if you decide to manipulate without a license? I say, thinking of the teenage boy who stuck through the gates. Jason looks at me and speaks directly. They perform a lobotomy and remove Maxim operas from the brain. That way they can never manipulate again. Oh. I gulp as two Premier guards jog past, seemingly on a search. I'm starting to think I should have punched the boy with the buzz-brown hair. We stop at a restaurant that Jason insists is the coveted tradition of every young Maxim preparing for Summa. It's called Venom. There's a fountain outside with a cobra, open jaws spewing water from its fangs. It represents what I've seen in the city of operas far too perfectly: predatory, slithering, and menacing. I'm starting to question my choice to come. Anna approaches the receptionist when we get inside, rolling a suitcase next to her. Somehow, she managed to spend half her allowance at the Hollow Superstore. "Can we leave our things here?" "For what purpose?" the receptionist shoots back rudely. Evidently, it isn't tradition in operas to treat customers with respect. Anna looks back at Thomas with a pouty face. Thomas sighs. "We're leaving Summa later tonight. Could we—" "Oh, Summa? Well then of course." The receptionist's scowl changes to a wide smile. "I guess being a student at Summa has some perks in this society." "Thank you," Anna mouths to Thomas as he sets down her things. The way they act with each other is like an old married couple. The receptionist hands each of us a tablet. "Please have a seat at the booth and browse through our menu. Your waitress will be here soon." I slide into the bamboo-framed booth, welcoming the opportunity to rest my feet after hours of walking. Sarah scooches in next to me, and I move a little closer to her. She's exactly who I want to sit by. A circular grill covers the center of the table, live coals dancing underneath. I scroll through the tablet's menu, careful not to bump Sarah with my arm. She looks up from our menu. Isn't this bizarre? For some reason, I'm relieved when she talks first. I want to respond, yes. It is bizarre that we are sitting right next to each other, and we have been for the 4 years, and neither of us knows what the other is thinking. We just sit here. But that's probably not what she's inferring. Instead, I say, what do you mean? Well, everything about being here, really. I was talking about the menu. What about it? I say, too nervous to look away from the coals. Oh, you're still on the drinks. Sarah swipes my screen to the next page. It's titled Death in a Basket. Every food option is a type of snake: pythons, coral snakes, copperheads, and boas. So this is the restaurant every young Maxum wants to go to? What can I get for you? The waitress arrives, the snake slithering on her shoulder. The scales on its back shimmer an unnatural gold and silver, flipper-like extensions protruding from its body like fins of a shark. The waitress makes eye contact with me. These are a new breed from Celadon Conservatory. We call them hydro hunters, able to electrocute their prey. Can I interest you in one? Anna closes her eyes when the snake extends out and licks her hair. Oh, don't worry, honey. These guys are harmless on land. Their electrocutors only work in the water. The waitress grabs the snake's head and strings it back around her shoulder. Disgusting. I'll take one. Jason shrugs, looking at everyone as if we need to say something. None of us speak in return. The rest of them will get the grilled chicken. Could we get the victory laugh for drinks? Anna relaxes. So do I. We don't have to eat snake. I'll be right back, the waitress says, disappearing into the kitchen. I can faintly hear angry hisses coming from inside. One time I cut off the head of a gardener snake in my backyard. The entire body still slithered around after it died. I can't believe Jason ordered one to eat. I survey the rest of the restaurant, a little on edge, thinking about one of the snakes getting loose. There aren't very many people here, just like the Golden Road outside. A couple in the far back picks food off a grill, and a college-age student dines with his parents. The boy with buzzed brown hair. Of course we wind up in the same traditional restaurant. I think back to the dinner with my mom after graduating from middle school. We rarely ate out, and going to Trudy's kitchen was my favorite. It wasn't anything special. Red stools, black and white checkered floors, and an old arcade machine at the front that Damien and I used to play. My dad used to be a waitress there, and my dad was an avid customer, or so their story went. I wish I was back at Trudy's kitchen and not eating live snakes in the middle of nowhere. I imagine my mom picking out a coffin for me right now. I remember how she was when she did that for my dad. She kept getting frustrated when the price tag showed up at the bottom with the added tax. Even the cheapest coffin was too expensive. She wanted to give him the best she could, but the best was plywood nailed together and a water-starved lily. No Electrons, no chairs, just a group of people that cared for my dad. We held hands together as the a cappella hymns and the heartfelt poems ascended with the rising sun, the pastel colors of red and orange memorializing the stories told of my father's life. I wouldn't do that to my mom again. If an opportunity arises, I'm going back. I'm telling her everything. Even if an opportunity doesn't come, I'll make it happen. Even if it means the premiere will pull Maxum operas from my brain. Not too many people here for school starting. Sarah must have noticed my gaze. Most people take the early lift up the mountain to get settled before classes begin. But we'll have to take the last ride because we spent too much time waiting out the rain, Jason butts in. Kind of weird to start school in February, Thomas says. I thought the same thing when school started in September, Jason jokes. Is it cold up there, and like the mountains? Anna's eyes grow twice the size. I totally only have 3 jackets, and only one of them is puffy. Do you think? It should be moderate this time of year. The seasons are the opposite of what you're used to. Winter is your summer, summer is winter, Jason says. Is there like a hollow store up there? I try to hold in a smile as I count Anna's basic necessities. A phone, 2 suitcases of clothes, and yes, shopping. There isn't a physical hollow store, but we have DT Anywhere, drone transport, for online shipping. You can get it on your... You're kidding me, this whole time? Anna pulls out her disc and toggles to the hollow store. I adjust the list in my head. A phone, 2 suitcases of clothes, shopping, and yes, online shopping with direct delivery. So how does manipulation work? I've been dying to ask after Stratus left me in the dark. I wish I could tell you. The entire process in general is kept secretive. Even my parents were sworn not to say much about it. I'm just like you. I don't know how to manipulate myself, but what I do know is that you have to have a relay, Jason answers. What's a relay? Sarah twirls her hair around her finger. I love when she does that. A relay is... Jason looks out of the corner of his eye to see if anyone in the restaurant is listening. You know how we learned in bio the brain has different frequencies? Alpha for relaxation, Delta for sleep, Beta for attention. I snap out of staring at Sarah's hair. Well, gamma plus waves are the highest brain frequency. They're produced by Maxum operas, and the relay harnesses them to manipulate matter. If you have a license to, that is. The waitress returns with the main course. She lays out each of the kebabs on the skillet in front of us. The grilled chicken was definitely the way to go. Jason's snake head still has fangs attached. Sarah cringes, her foot bumping mine. My heart feels suddenly warm. Her foot leaves as fast as it came. She looks at me with a timid smile. There's something special about her tonight, the firelight glimmering in her eyes, the same way she looked when we made a campfire together at Montgomery Park 2 years ago. I told her I had a crush on Anna, way before Thomas was ever in the picture, and she arranged a group of people to get together so I could talk with her. It was a complete bust. I never spoke to Anna once during the night. She ended up kissing a guy named Skylar she just met, only to break up with him a few days later. But I didn't mind. I spent more time by the fire with Sarah instead. Flashback, 2 years ago. Sarah cupped her hand over my ear and whispered, "Anna seems to be hitting it off well with Skylar, huh?" I cupped back, "Yeah, I'm surprised. I'm pretty sure they'd never met." "That's hilarious." Sarah broke eye contact with me. Anna stood up and dipped her toe in the river. "Skylar, come on. Let's go swimming." She sat down, putting both feet in the water. Sarah looked at me and then back at the fire. "What?" "I don't know. I'm sorry it didn't work out with her." "What do you mean?" "I saw the way you looked at her when she arrived." Sarah touched the frayed ends of her denim shorts. "Trust me, it's been better with you." "That's sweet, Zach." She parted at the fire with the camp skewer. "But we were trying to find you a girlfriend, remember?" She dragged the skewer along the coals. "And Anna's really pretty." "Anna's great, but she's a bit too... crazy?" Sarah's eyes focused on the fire, a mischievous grin on the corner of her lips. I wonder now if it was ever Sarah's intent to set me up with Anna at the campfire that night. I wonder if Sarah only brought Anna there to prove that she was the girl I was looking for. I moved my focus out of Sarah's flickering eyes. "To friendship," Jason proclaims, lifting his minty soda to clink glasses with the rest of us. He guzzles his drink down and puts his arm around Sarah. I raise my glass just above the table, not an inch more.
"This drink is so good,"
Thomas says, his voice high-pitched for some reason.
"What the?"
Anna says. I didn't know her voice could get any higher than the Merrifield cheerleader pitch she has. Jason chuckles, flashing his diamond white teeth. "That's why we call it victory laugh." He kisses Sarah with his glazed over eyes. I wanted to punch Jason when I found out he lied to us about being a Maxum all these years. I want to punch him even more now. Jason moves out of his seat to get our checks. I let my mind settle back down. "You doing okay?" Sarah puts her hand on my thigh. I try not to notice as I pick the leftover chicken from the metal grate, the embers extinguishing beneath. She can always see right through me. Jason returns and Sarah's hand withdraws. "They said someone already paid for it." "Who?" Anna says. The person sitting over. Jason turns around as the family I saw earlier approaches. Buzz Freak's family. "We overheard you guys talking with the receptionist about Summa." The short woman laughs giddily. "We thought we would treat you." Her lips are heavily coated with lipstick. Her ears are adorned with earrings that have the Maxim symbol for currency, M, and her body reeks of perfume. The man at her side is far less attractive with his long nose and a few gold teeth in his fake smile. I wonder if Maxims have a word for gold digger. If not, I'll make one. "Our son here, Brayden, is going to Summa too. He's so happy to make new friends." She leans closer to me, her lips much too close to my ears. "With a more sophisticated bunch." Brayden smiles. Each of his teeth is conically shaped as though he's sharpened them to look like a shark. Maybe it's a genetic Maxim thing, or maybe he just wanted them that way. "Thanks again for the meal," Jason says politely as the family turns to leave. "Why, of course, sweetie." She taps Jason's shoulder. "Bye-bye now." She waves as they walk out of the restaurant. I don't wave back. No flex of wealth could buy me over. Merrifield High was filled with rich students. Summa seems to have the same vibe. I'll pull my own. Thomas cracks up when they're out of reach. "How much do you think we'd make if we stole that guy's teeth?" "Which one? Shark tooth or gold tooth?" I say. "Hey, they paid for our dinner. We should be nice," Sarah defends. "I think I've seen the guy in ads. Dr. Ubel. He's kind of a big deal, like the creator of Mad Social Media," Jason says. "Oh, social media? I love him," Anna says, quick to place her allegiance. We all stand up, ready to leave, when the waitress returns. She juggles balloon-sized balls of ice cream in her hands, the perfect spheres balancing precariously on the cup rim. They ordered you guys cream bombs. We'll take them to go, Jason says, grabbing one. I'll wait for everyone else to take theirs before reluctantly grabbing one myself. I have no intention of accepting bribery, but I'm a sucker for ice cream. I sink my teeth into the fluffiness. It's aerated like cotton candy and has the smooth, cold ice cream at the end. I've never tasted anything better. Maybe I judged the family too quickly. The golden road lights up beneath our feet as we stroll down the walkway. It's getting dark outside and most of the shops are closing. Anna wraps her arm around Thomas and gives him a peck on the cheek. Sarah and Jason exchange ice cream flavors. It could have been a romantic evening with the warm summer breeze and the aroma of melted ice cream, but I'm not with anyone. No one except for my empty ice cream cup. I toss it in the trash can as we pass. We need to hurry, Jason says, pointing to the Gamma Plus store further down the road. The sliding doors are slowly closing, and we break into a run. The entire building looks like a giant safe, a perfect square of reflective metal. All that's missing is a massive combo lock on the outside. I can imagine the best bank robber would have a hard time breaking in, even if they fired a ballistic missile at the front door. I guess it makes sense since they have to regulate manipulation. But to go to these extremes? Come back tomorrow, a disgruntled man standing outside shoos us away. He has a goatee and his eyes are tinted yellow like a warty toad. I haven't seen any other Maxums with yellow eyes, but I learned from my mom it's a side effect of drinking a lot of alcohol. We're going to Summa, please. Jason starts to argue, but the Summa card doesn't seem to be working this time. Didn't the lift close already? The store owner grumbles, turning to walk down the road. Nope, still one lift coming. Jason follows him, holding a gold paper bill in his hands, 5M written on the corners. The man looks at the cash, looks around, and then quickly stuffs it in his pocket. I'll see to it then. He walks back into the Gamma Plus store and scans his fingerprint on a panel outside. The doors of the store open again, and he motions us inside. It takes him a moment, but the light turns on, revealing a spacious room with absolutely no merchandise. 5 metal vaults are on the far end of the room. It looks more like a bank than a store does. We walk toward the vaults. Guns are embedded in the wall and follow us like watching eyes. I wonder what triggers them. A movement of a hand, a certain facial expression, too much body heat, a thought? I don't want to find out. The man stops at one of the vaults. He places his hand on a pad. One lock clicks open. He types in a 12-digit code. Another lock clicks open. An AI voice sounds, "We are ready for DNA recognition." The man pricks his finger and a drop of blood lands in a collecting tube outside the vault. Another lock clicks open. Each person gets their own vault. Who's first? Zach, didn't you say you wanted to go? Thomas whispers. I breathe out a short breath. Fine. Just follow the humanoid's instructions to get your relay. Make it quick. I'm meeting a friend at the Lucky Bar soon. The man twists the vault door open, and I step inside. The vault closes behind me. My name is Veronica. The humanoid looks perfectly human, extremely tan and close to 40, but her voice is robotic. It's just the two of us in a room the size of a bathroom stall. She gestures for me to sit in a lonely chair across from her. Judging by the security cameras in the 4 corners of the tiny room, I better not do anything wrong. Every minute of being a Maxum is growing weirder and weirder. Under Maxum law, you must agree to certain conditions before you can receive your relay. First, you can never lend, borrow, give, or sell the relay. Second, you can never divulge the secrets of manipulation. And finally, unlawful use of manipulation will result in removal of Maxum operis. Do you agree to these conditions? Yes, I gulp, wondering what the repercussions are of a human learning to manipulate. Lobotomy is already extremely harsh. We'll find the right fit first. Veronica scans my finger with a blue light, and my finger projects on the screen across from me. Trust me, you want it tight, but comfortable. You can't have the relay falling off when you're using it. Veronica rotates the image of my finger, assigning measurements from the tip of my fingernail down to my knuckle. What material do you want for your relay? We have gold, copper, silver. She flashes through an arrangement of metal encasements. The relay looks like the device the gold-masked man wore at the Masked Investor, a bionic finger of sorts. Any osmium? I ask, remembering my conversation with Jason about the metal's strength. A rich taste, I see, but a good practical one, nonetheless. Would you like any infusions? What do you mean? We can use alloys, To color the metal however you'd like, she says, displaying a spectrum of color options. I shake my head, figuring colored metal would look tacky. I'll be right back. Veronica types a code into a keypad and opens a door different from the one I entered. I catch a glimpse of sparks flying from saw blades and robotic arms tinkering before the humanoid closes the door behind her. I can't fathom what it's like to put on a device that can sync with my brain. It'd probably be painful. I don't feel cut out for this, not just from the fear of pain, but because it feels like I'm taking away someone else's place in society. The way the teenagers snuck onto the street. Maxums like him probably wait their whole lives for this day, and for most, it will never come. All I did to get here was pass an adrenaline test and implant a brain structure in my head. Worst of all, I'm not sure if I even want to be here. If Sarah hadn't been part of my decision to become a Maxum, I wouldn't have come. If I knew what the Maxum world was like, I wouldn't have come either. I wish I'd chosen for myself, because now I'm not sure why I'm here. After a few minutes, Veronica returns. She unwraps a black box and carefully lifts out an osmium relay. Let's try this on. I hold out my hand and she slides it onto my finger. The contraption extends down to the web of my hand. The metal plates provide dexterity in my joints as I move my finger around. It's not bulky like I thought metal would be. It's light and easy to move. Does it fit well? Veronica turns my hand back and forth, admiring both sides. It's perfect, I say, starting to feel like a robot myself with a mechanical finger. Okay, let's adjust it to your frequency. Veronica turns a hidden dial on the side of my relay. The frequency of gamma plus waves from your brain range from 80 to 120 hertz. The faster the frequency, the faster one's speed of manipulating. You can also adjust this as you get better. I need you to close your eyes, Veronica says. Stimulating maximum operas in your brain requires emotion. Let's start with surprise. Think of when someone surprised you. My left hand instinctively touches the paper in my pocket. I didn't expect a drone to come after me when I helped that girl. Veronica scrolls the dial on my finger. Perfect. Now, think of someone you loved. I immediately think of Sarah kissing my cheek. If nothing else, I'm here, and maybe it was worth coming just for that chance. Okay, I think I got it, Veronica says after a moment. Lastly, hate. Jason's face shoots in my head, his face full of laughter as he raises the victory laugh with Sarah at his side. No, I can't hate Jason. Jason's my best friend. I redirect my emotions to the boy from the restaurant, but even then, I find it hard to summon true hate. Okay, I did my best. You aren't too slow for a first-timer, but you'll get faster with practice, Veronica says, pulling her hand away. I open my eyes, almost expecting something to have changed in my body. Nothing has. Now, my favorite part, she says, turning my hand over to my palm. The link. Her finger hovers over a different button on my relay. This one's square. The link is your connection to the relay, your brain waves connecting with it. The inside of the relay has tiny needles that connect directly with the nerves in your finger. Your link will be weak now, so it should only feel like a prick. She presses down without giving me a chance to speak. It's not a prick. It feels like a zap of electricity. The nerves in my finger are on fire, as if they've come out of my skin and united with the metal encasement. My heart rate rises. It's bright. It smells like roses. 1,000 images cross my mind. I can't tell what I'm seeing. It's just a blur, a scent, a feeling. The light turns dark beneath my eyes. I try to yank the relay off. Everything turns black.